Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are live. We're going to try and get a few things settled really quickly before the stream really gets going. And I just need to update the Oh yeah, they're all modded. Sorry, something. There's a new YouTube feature and I'm trying to figure out how to use it. How do you do that? I see the option, but it's grayed out. Okay, whatever. But hey, egg sandwich. Let me get a clip. Let me get a screenshot for the YouTube thumbnail. We're gonna try and work with our amphibians. So let's start off here. Just get a screenshot of that real quick. Go to Canva. Yeah, really professional. Real professional. Share, download. Okay, that's going. I guess I'll just have to really understand understand the new features later. That's being super weird. I believe I have the one Hellbender. Let me double check. I think I have one female. Yes, one female. So let's get a female in here. So technically, let's see. All right, let's see. Yeah, how's it been, Egg Sandwich? I think I'm gonna move this there. I bet there's a fence, a path here, or something weird like that. That's what usually happens. all lined in. Pretty sure hellbenders are bigger than that, but whatever. You do gotta love a snot puppy. Or a snot otter. That's what they're called. Snot otter. Come. This mud wall kind of figured out. This can be one of the more higher budget habitats. Just making sure. We may make that part of the building. We'll see. Figure out a way to make that like an exhaust or something like that. Now we want to grab the color from our riffle tank. Want to grab this color from there. We also want to finish that habitat today, but I've been told that for our application for native species, we need to show off some enclosures. So here we are. And it made sense to make an enclosure for hellbenders as well, even though they're not really. This is. Don't worry, I'm not crazy most of the time. Hellbenders prefer rocky habitats. Better. How big do Alabama water dogs get? Medium-sized branch salamander. They get 9 inches long, whereas hellbenders get up to 16-inch long. With the tail getting them up to 3 feet long. Okay. So yeah, these guys can get significantly larger. A 40-gallon should be good for an Alabama water dog. Not an open top. No, it needs to be an open top. My bad. So we got some 40 gallons in here. this all lined in. This is for, yeah, marbled salamanders. We should probably get a sign just so we can clarify what's going in what. Europe sign. I think that's no. Animate zoo sign. We'll just put in where everything's supposed to be before we get the signs really ironed out. Nope, not that. Okay, Australia sign it is. These aren't big enough. Or these are too big, I should say. I think this is what we want. Let's see. Yes. Let's make sure we get all these put in. We've got a lot of salamanders to house. It's kind of our thing. Red-backed salamander. Veiled chameleon. Wait, there. Let's see. We'll have to do a board or something covering that up. I mean, obviously they're not going to line up perfectly, but... Are these all 40 gallons? I don't think so. I actually think our sorry, my brain was so sorry, I was so quiet there. That's what I'm trying to say. You might get the frosted flatwoods and Eastern tiger over here as one of the larger species. I'm gonna just gradually move these on over. And then if we can just get that just slightly. Go. Okay, so we can't duplicate, we just gotta It's time to get these all a little bit closer so that we can get as many of these terrariums in here as possible. Once we have all of these, we can really figure out and I think that's pretty good. We'll have a beam here. We'll just merge all these together. Okay, that's not weird at all. I guess we can always just use this technique, but very weird, Planet Zoo, very weird. Okay, apparently I have to individually color each one of these panels. I don't remember that being an issue. This will be the Alabama water dog. Alright, let's grab this. Again, I'm sorry I'm so quiet. My brain seems to be all over the place. Don't know what we're gonna have up here. Probably signs about. We'll probably do signs about amphibian conservation, sacred fungus, things like that. looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Hmm. Alright, so this can be our Alabama water dog enclosure. Of course. Let's get this in. Hmm. 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 And I wish we had more glass panel sizes. I guess we'll just kind of have to hope it's not too noticeable. Okay. Now we've got what's happening there? It's designed to be weird, I guess. Oops. This guy. They're both pretty large mole salamanders, and one of them's endangered, so. So we'll get that in there. Boom. Mississippi Gopher Frog. Critically endangered species of frog. And the red Hills Salamander. So. Let's go to the back. Okay, this is why. I have all kinds of wonky paths in here. There we go. Don't think we're gonna have tanks against that wall. We might have some signs about conservation and stuff, but we probably will need something in this center. Oh, that's good. Alabama. So the first two that we need to do is the Mississippi Gopher Frog and the Red Hills Salamander. So let's start with the Red Hills Salamander because that's my number one. Ask. This is for the Christmas ZSU event. So bigger. That is where we're getting these species from. And just FYI, these linked terrariums, they are indeed on the workshop. You can look up I think it's basic aquarium sizes. So if you want to do implied habitats in Planet Zoo, these work really well for lower budget settings where you're not going to have a custom tank for animals like salamanders like we're building here. And somewhat obscure. So let's start with the Red Hills Salamander, which is the state salamander of Alabama. So that's pretty cool. They can get about 10 inches long. Habitat. Red Hills physiographic province of the coastal plain. Range is limited on the east by the Conecuh River, or Conecuh River. Habit burrows. Ooh, that also reminds me. Blueprints think we're going to be making some tunnels with these pieces. It's smaller than I thought. It's not quite what I thought I was going to be using. You'd kind of maybe do it with this. But so they're mainly fossorial, but we do want a breeding pair. So we would like to get some water as well. Fossorial means that they prefer living underground. So we're going to provide them a lot of underground area. A lot easier to work with when I was doing it from the other angle, but whatever. Okay, let's see. Then we go to construction. So we get the smallest piece. And then we do something like this, question mark. Yeah, something like this. Camera controls here are a little finicky. Let's paint this like a black. And then we say we want a bark panel. Except that all the bark panels are gigantic for this. that's way too small. Nope. Let's just grab some nettle. Man, it's crazy when the nettle piece is looking big. What was that? Temple plant? Oh, actually, buffalo grass? Since it is a coastal plains species. Don't know why we're part of that. Oh, I know why now. Branch. These are all too big, but if we use something like this. Unfortunately, in Planet Zoo, you can only have so many tools when you are building small. Right, that's looking pretty good. We just need a light. So we can create a day-night cycle. For the plants. There we go. That's looking like something. Mississippi Gopher Frog. How big is the tunnel piece? Probably way too big. Yeah, way too big. Now again, for this species, we've got another fossorial species. think it's slightly less fossorial. In fact, what if we... Probably something like this would be well liked. That's pretty cool. I know, like, dart frogs like these little things, so... See no reason why the Mississippi Gopher Frog wouldn't. And then if we do one-way glass... They do like a little bit of water, but don't want to go overboard. I prefer that. And then plants-wise, it's not necessarily known as a tree climbing species. Let's see. Let's indeed see. Hmm. Alright, let's get some pictures of that and send that off to our application for these species, but first we're going to need another light. let's send that off to ZSU so that we can get that approved, hopefully. Why are these so far back? I need those closer. If you're looking at the screenshot, really realized. That was way too far back. Again, controlling the area in here sucks. Let's try this again. All right, now let's send those. Upload file these. There we go. Now let's do a few touch-ups to our other building, I think. And for people who haven't seen the signage for this area, I love this. But more on that will be coming on my video on Sunday, which we need to do the lighting and stuff in here. And we need to get the correct educational signs in here, but let's first focus on lighting and drains and stuff. So we need to figure out what's the best light. I'm sort of leaning towards this. Can I turn this to like a blue? What does that look like during the day? Like nothing. That's what I was afraid of. It's too bright, I think. Let me see if I can get... Someone gave me suggestions on here. Lens, share, light. Alright, what did you use, Wyatt? The only thing he could have used was something like this, right? Probably sunk it down and then had something. Yeah, that's what you do. Do that. You do this. Do something like this. It is this that's somewhat bright, right? Like, I want this to work so bad. I think that does actually get the point across. Now I just need to actually grab this light. And then we do this, and we grab rain. Should have done it a little smarter. We turn this to black. Merge that. Okay, and then we can just get this all lit up. I'd love to see what it looks like at night after these changes are made. No, that is supposed to be there. Cool. All right, let's see. Let's keep going. So during the day, it doesn't really do anything. What does it look like at night? thought I fixed this. Again, the problem is during the day, lights don't do anything. So what we probably want to do is grab this bad boy. Always on. Do that dark blue. Then we delete these because we need to do the better lighting. I wish we had lights that actually did a decent amount of brightness. We'll get better lighting in Planet Zoo 2, so that's a plus at least. But until then, we'll just have to make do with what we got. Oh my gosh, this build in Planet Zoo 2 would be amazing. That's a little too much. Now we might go a little bit less with these now that they've got some severe lighting sources. Then at night it should look even better. And yeah, it looks pretty sick in here. Alright, now we want an actual floor drain, or a couple of them. So something like this actually works. We want this plastic color to be that red color. You might want the same for that, yeah. Because there's sure to be some water splashing. And also, when we clean the habitat, which is the good thing about this floor, is it would allow for really nice and easy cleaning. We don't want this to be too shiny. So we want... I don't know if we want it that close either. Maybe somewhere like here? A little bit out of the wool. Ooh. You don't see it till you're around the corner. That's pretty good. And that muskrat habitat's almost done. There's just a few more things we really need to do. And that's get some structures in here. All right. Maybe? Oh no, that's what I wanted. Never mind. I found the piece I wanted. The only bad thing about that piece is it seems like it's not flexi color. Wait, it is. It's just a different flexi color option. Hmm. How much light do these produce? Not much. Not as much as something like this. These should always be on because these are providing UVB and UVA, which is required for the birds. And we can change that to black, and the color we can change to pure white. So that will make it brighter. And then we grab this, grab this, grab this. Grab that. Bring that along to right there. Need plenty of UVA, plenty of 5K lux, and it's not super visible, especially when we have some stuff that's actually brighter colors like goldfinches or yellow throats. I'm trying to think of other birds in here. Let's see, I'm trying to remember, do we have... We don't have the new stuff, so let me see. State new education. I think I've got signs for all of these, I just gotta actually import them into the game. flats. Shouldn't take too long. Why is restream being weird? Okay, we're back in it. That's fine. Yeah, this is going to be not as exciting for a second. Just because I'm doing some signage, but go ahead and put some chats in. If you want to figure out about what we're planning or anything like that. It is later than I thought. We've only got a little bit longer that we could play, so let's do something fun in here. Let's do one of these terrarium. I think we got time for one more terrarium in here. That's what we'll do. Let's do the reticulated flatwood salamander. Let's see about the reticulated flatwoods salamander. Species of mole salamander. Western Panhandle of Florida, extreme southwestern Georgia. Once occurred in southern Alabama. Wet pine flatwoods and pine savannas. Terrestrial species. They do in fact like vernal pools. That kind of stuff. Okay, we've got the one, so we don't technically need it to be able to breed, but still would prefer possibility of breeding them eventually. go. Trunk. Broken. That ain't gonna fly. Get some fallen logs down, or sticks, I should say. Yeah, that's way too big. Can I make this like a gray? I much prefer this than the other gutter in this instance. then if we bring this down to here, this might be what I do for all fossorial species now. Hey, another Rev Gamer. I'm actually about to head out for the night, but we are finishing up some work on some terrariums for some salamanders. But yeah, it's getting a little late over here. But I'll show you some of the progress. I'm trying to think of what are the smallest plants. Because right now I'm kind of in between lords and ladies, nettles, buffalo grass. So we've got the Mississippi Gopher Frog is going to go here. We technically don't hold them currently in the zoo. The Discord server I'm in runs the zoo, sort of, so I can only get species when I actually like get them from the server. So no, these are just implied, so they're not actually there. I'm just building habitats for them because again, the Discord server has thousands and thousands of animals, and yeah, so it's got thousands of animals in the bot, and I get them in the Discord server and can trade them with other zoos and stuff. So we don't have these species right now, but we had to build enclosures for them for our basically permitting to get the species. So these are two very endemic species, so for us to, they're not actually held in captivity really, so we would have to capture them from the wild, and because they're endangered, we need permits for that. Basically and so we wanted to show that we could house them. This is an endangered type, reticulated flatwood salamander, so we built an enclosure for that. We're going to build one for the tiger salamander. We've got a bunch of salamanders planned here. That striped newt is actually going to need a water aquarium. Here we've got the hellbender, which I also need to do the wall there. That's something I still need to do. But where is the hellbender? It may be. It's probably back here. Thanks. Yeah, I used an exhibit and then kind of shrunk it down. Where are you? This is a modded animal. Oh, yep. I wish you would go to any other place. But it goes in here, and there'll be some smaller... We might put the striped newts in here, because I like the idea of some tanks being close together, albeit for smaller ones. We've built this for a while, but this is our cougar habitat, which I think is still my top habitat. It's a lot to top this one. And this uses the remaster mod, because it just looks so good. And then this is another modded habitat for red salamanders, which are usually pretty easy to see because they're red, but... Oh, there's one. I'm not sure about this one because it feels way too large for those salamander species, but I've got the mod, so I really don't want to make it any different. We've got a kestrel in here made out of some in-game pieces. Turkey vulture in there. Again, in-game pieces. This is our black bear habitat, but they can rotate in with coyotes or red wolves. But since it's Planet Zoo, only one we don't have rotation really in the game, so Oh, there's one of the bears. That's interesting. But then the other progress we did is we were finishing up. Not this, though this is pretty epic. I really do like this tank. It was this, which may be my favorite thing that I've done. So it's for creek fish. I think right now is the perfect time for modding, for getting modded species, because modders are finally being able to do everything they wanted to do without the fear of an update breaking their mods. So unfortunately, I've started redoing my signage, so all these are blank right now. But unfortunately, no modded animals will be in here. It's all going to be either just implied. It's not through Steam. You go to the Planet Zoo Nexus. Leaf on YouTube has a tutorial on how to install it, but it's pretty simple. But the Nexus has a Planet Zoo section, and it's really easy. It's just drag and drop, basically. But yeah, I do unfortunately need to get going to bed. Let's see, is there someone we can raid? That I'm following? Because I don't really want to spend the time to... No, not really. Okay, well, we'll just... Yeah, right before... So this is my African safari habitat. That's going to invariably cause lag. But we have in here... So this is the Nile Lechwe, but we've also got some eland. More Nile Lechwe. Where are the other guys? You're not supposed to be in here. I have escapes turned off. This building has seen a lot of renovations. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah, we've got a lot of Nile Lechwe in here, but another eatland. We've also got the kudu and the impalas in here. They do have a lot of African animal mods, so I do like the impala quite a bit. Unfortunately, these mods are a little bit outdated, so they can cause occasional crashes. Here's the male impala. And then eventually we'll be getting giraffes, so I wanted to add an extra shelter here. This is also going to be made more interesting, but for now I just wanted to get something that makes the habitat not look crappy as all get out. This is supposed to be sawgrass, which is pretty common here in the southeast. This zoo's based in Dothan, Alabama, so we have some typical southeastern foliage. Gosh, that is hideous, but unfortunately I am out of time, so we will be ending the stream here. Thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate it. And I'll catch y'all later. Bye now.